Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Stop for a second, take a breath, because this video is not just another K-pop content. This is about one moment, one single second, that millions of people around the world couldn't watch without breaking into tears. This is about Park Jimin, a man who disappeared from our screens for 1.5 years. No glittering stage, no dancing, no that smile, the one that always makes us forget to breathe. All that was left was a dark green military uniform, and the prayers of millions of ARMY who never stopped waiting. And on Wednesday, June 11th, 2025, he came back. But it wasn't his return that shattered us. What made our hearts drop were the very first words he said. And we're going to break that down right now, slowly, until the very end. For those of you who are new to Jimin, or maybe don't know the full story, let's flash back for a moment. December 12th, 2023. That date wasn't just any ordinary date for ARMY. That was the day Jimin and Jungkook, two of BTS's 7 members, officially enlisted in the military. They signed up together as companion soldiers, choosing to serve side by side. When this information was shared, fans couldn't hide how relieved they were knowing that Jungkook and Jimin would be together throughout their service. At least they'll have each other, one ARMY wrote on X. But the night before they left, Jimin did something that, to this day, still makes people cry when they watch it back. Jimin appeared deeply emotional as he revealed his shaved head for the first time in a Weverse Live on the night of December 11th, 2023. He talked about many things, including the moment of seeing RM and V off to their own military service, and expressed how grateful he was for everything. Then, finally, Jimin showed his shaved head and bowed toward ARMY, saying his goodbyes. Picture that. A shaved head, a forced smile, eyes just slightly glistening, and millions of fans across the world, including right here in Indonesia, watching that alone in their rooms, trying desperately not to completely fall apart. That wasn't just an idol saying goodbye before enlisting. That was a human being, who was scared, who was going to miss so much, who knew exactly how much he was leaving behind. And for 18 full months, Jimin disappeared from the world stage. No concerts, no live streams, no daily updates we used to wait for every single day. All that remained were memories, his songs played on repeat, and the hope that one day he would come back. Wednesday, June 11th, 2025. 8 o'clock in the morning, Korea time. The air was still cool. The sun had just risen. But in front of the military base gates in Yongkyeon, Gyeonggi Province, thousands of people were already standing, waiting. Some had been there since midnight. They came from China, Japan, the United States, Thailand, Indonesia, from every corner of the world, just to witness this one moment. Although the discharge of RM and V the day before had drawn a massive crowd, the number of fans who showed up for Jimin and Jungkook was nearly 3 times larger. 3 times larger. Just think about how enormous that love is. And then, the gates opened. The roar of the ARMY erupted as Jimin and Jungkook appeared in their full military uniforms, holding bouquets of flowers. Military green uniforms, bouquets in hand, shy smiles, because they knew it had been far too long since they last stood in front of a camera. Jungkook said with a grin, "It feels so awkward standing here in front of everyone. It's been so long since we stood in front of a camera. We don't even have any makeup on." And all of us, watching from behind our screens, were crying and laughing at the same time. Because that was him. The Jungkook we know. Honest, unfiltered, incapable of pretending. But the moment that truly made our chests tighten was when Jimin spoke. Jimin stood there. Military uniform. White bouquet of flowers. The cool morning air around him. And he said, "Thank you so much for coming all this way to see us. It's been so long, because of COVID-19 and our military service, but thank you for holding on through all of it for us." Did you hear that? Thank you for holding on. Not, thank you for waiting, but holding on. Because that's exactly what happened. For years, ARMY didn't just wait. They held on. Through a pandemic, through a hiatus, through the anxiety of not knowing when BTS would ever be whole again. And Jimin, with just those simple words, proved that he knew. That he felt all of it too. And Jimin continued, "Thank you for coming from so far away to meet us. And to ARMY, thank you for waiting so long, from the pandemic to our military service. Now that we're done, we're going to start painting the picture we've been preparing. Painting the picture we've been preparing." Jimin has always had a way of speaking like that. Like poetry, like every word is chosen carefully from the heart, not just thrown together as a formality. And it didn't stop there. Jimin also said, "This was my first time experiencing military life and honestly, it wasn't easy. But after going through hardships together, eating together, and enduring things together, I formed a strong bond with the people around me." He said it wasn't easy. Jimin, who always looks so strong on stage, who always smiles even when he's exhausted, who always appears flawless in front of the camera, finally said it honestly. It wasn't easy. And we all know Jimin is someone who rarely admits that. He's the type to keep smiling even when his heart is breaking. So when he said that, those words carried real weight. Enormous weight. Emotional cries of gratitude and farewell rang out as many fans wept openly at the scene. One fan who had flown all the way from China said, "I planned this trip around the time they were getting out of the military. This is my special BTS trip." And when Jimin spoke, she was in tears. We all were. There's something profoundly human about this moment. Not because Jimin is an idol, not because he's impossibly talented or beautiful, but because beneath all of that, there was a person who desperately missed coming home, who missed his fans, who missed the stage, who missed himself as an artist. A few months after his discharge, Jimin went live on Weverse again, this time to celebrate his 30th birthday, October 2025, and he came with a level of honesty that was simply breathtaking. Jimin said he felt happy to be celebrating his 30th birthday with ARMY, especially considering he hadn't been able to do so the year before because of his military service. But the most touching part wasn't that. When asked about turning 30, Jimin said, "What do I feel about being 30? Actually, there's nothing specific I feel. It's the same, really no different. Except I think I've become more impatient. You know, wanting to live life to the fullest before I get older. Wanting to live life to the fullest before I get older." That sentence is simple, but for anyone who has ever felt time moving too fast, it hits incredibly hard. Jimin had lost 2 years of what should have been some of the richest years of his artistic life. He spent the ages of 27 and 28 inside a military barracks. And now, at 30, he wasn't mourning that. He was hungry. He wanted to run. And in that same live, Jimin dropped a hint that sent the global army into an absolute frenzy. BTS would be releasing new music in the spring of 2026. Jimin explained, "Our work is going smoothly. All the members are working so hard, and as I said before, we're both nervous and excited guessing how you'll react to it." Nervous. JiminBTS, who has performed in stadiums holding hundreds of thousands of people, is still nervous about how fans will react. Still cares. Still wants to give everything he has. That's not the attitude of an idol who has grown too comfortable with fame. That is an artist who is genuinely, deeply in love with what he does. October 2025, Paris. After his discharge and a period of settling back in, Jimin appeared on one of the most prestigious stages in global fashion, Paris Fashion Week Spring, Summer 2026. JiminBTS arrived at Paris Fashion Week SS26 and immediately caused a sensation, turning heads with his bold and stylish appearance. This wasn't just a fashion event. This was the moment the world saw Jimin again, not as a soldier, not as an idol just released from the military, but as the true global icon he genuinely is. Jonathan Anderson's debut at Paris Fashion Week 2026 was lit up by JiminBTS, whose edgy and stylish presence stole attention from both fans and the media alike. For years, Jimin had already been recognized as one of the most successful brand ambassadors in the K-pop industry. But this Paris moment felt different, more mature, more him. If Jimin used to carry a youthful, high-energy fire on his sleeve, now there was something new and deeper in him. Something behind his eyes that hadn't been there before the military. Like someone who had been through something heavy and emerged as a more complete version of himself. And now, in early 2026, every road leads to the same destination. BTS, Comeback, Complete, All 7. BTS, The Return, is a music documentary that chronicles the behind-the-scenes journey of the reunion of all 7 BTS members after the last member completed his military service, highlighting their transition from military life and solo projects back into a unified group. And in that film, there's a moment that countless viewers have already seen in clips and cried over immediately. Each member pours out their longing for the stage, their fear of public expectations, and how deeply meaningful ARMY's support has been during their absence. Jimin is afraid. Yes, Park Jimin, one of the greatest performers of his generation, is still afraid. Afraid he won't be able to meet expectations. Afraid ARMY will be disappointed. Afraid that after all of this, the stage won't feel the same anymore. And that fear is exactly why we love him even more. Because it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that he cares. Deeply. More than any of us can fully grasp. In August 2025, the excitement of ARMY soared when all 7 members of BTS appeared together in a Weverse live stream from Los Angeles. Their first collective appearance since completing their military service. And when those 7 people finally appeared on screen together, OT7, complete, healthy, smiling, that wasn't just a K-pop moment. That was proof that some things in this world are genuinely, truly worth waiting for. So why? Why does Jimin always manage to do this? Why can a single sentence from him make thousands of people cry all at once, from every corner of the world? The answer is simple, and that's exactly what makes it so heavy. Jimin is the kind of person who looks most honest precisely in the moments he is most trying to hide how he feels. He never shows weakness, but it's in the cracks of that strength that we see his vulnerability. In the way he bowed toward the camera before entering the military camp. In the way his voice wavered just slightly when he said, "Thank you for holding on." In the way his eyes drifted somewhere far when he talked about wanting to live life to the fullest. Jimin never asks to be pitied, but somehow, our hearts always know when he needs to be understood. And perhaps that is the rarest thing about an artist at his level of global stardom. The ability to remain human in the middle of all the greatness that surrounds him. He isn't just an idol. He is a story we are following together. A journey we have watched up close, even across oceans and time zones. Spring 2026 is almost here. BTS will make their comeback. A new album is waiting. A world tour is being prepared. And Jimin, Park Jimin from Busan, the boy whose teacher once told him to audition because of his extraordinary talent for dance, will stand under the stage lights again. With that smile, with that voice, with a presence that always makes any room feel different. And we, ARMY around the world, including every one of you watching this right now, will be there, waiting, not just because we're fans, but because some things in life are worth fighting for, worth waiting for, and worth feeling with everything you've got. Jimin said he wants to paint the picture he's been preparing for so long. We cannot wait to see it finished. If this video made you feel something, whether it's emotional, energized, or just wanting to rewatch every single Jimin video right now, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Tell us, which Jimin moment hit your heart the hardest? Broken heart. And if you have a fellow ARMY who needs a reminder of just how extraordinary Park Jimin is, share this video with them. Because this story is far too good to keep to yourself. See you in the next video. Purple you all. Purple heart.